Klay is coming off of the bench these days, and he was talking about how he was just happy to be here. I literally saw him on a clip today, and it was, for all, just to be honest with y'all in the public, we had this conversation yesterday. We were talking about this topic, and so before it was just simply about how, or is it Meg The Stallion's fault for the downfall of Klay Thompson, right? This is the Splash brother. He was with Steph Curry and them back in the day. You know what I mean? Swish. This brother, I think, scored 37 points on like 16 bounces or some shit like that, right? Marksman. You know what I mean? He left them. He's in Houston right now. Is it Houston? Right? Is it Houston? No, he's Dallas, which is right up the street, right? And they don't have as much STDs as Philly. But the point is that apparently him and Meg The Stallion, they be having videos. They're going out to eat. And people are surmising like, bro, is this the reason, the cause for his downfall? I mean, let's be honest. This is Meg The Stallion. She's already caused one shooter to go down. Is this a second situation where she's about to end Klay Thompson too? Sorry. What are you guys' thoughts?
First, not the Tory Lanez reference there, who, by the way, lost his appeal. So them 10 years, he good to go there. I would just say that athletes go into slumps for a variety of reasons. It doesn't necessarily have to be her, although it could be a reason. I don't think so, though, because it's a variety of reasons. And ultimately, I think it's bullshit that they took the time to blame the woman that he's in a relationship with. And I find it's very common that whenever a man starts going downhill for whatever reason or in a slump or for whatever thing, it's always the woman that's responsible for it. But when he's on the rise and he's doing great or whatever, that woman's by his side rarely gets the credit for him being the great person that he is. But God forbid if he goes into a slump, next thing you know, oh, it's her. Now, I will say that there probably could be some distractions in place, because dating high profile people does come with additional scrutiny. And so that's something that Meg and Klay has to recognize. And as a result of that, Meg technically need to play her role. I think from the interview that I saw, Klay is suffering from her reputation, so to speak, where for her reputation that preceded her has somehow damaged or influenced. But I gotta give Klay props because first of all, he took offense to the way they just basically objectified her. They didn't even bother to call her name. They was like, you just got distracted by some pee, And so I think the fact that he stood up for her, kudos to him because that shows that he's into it to win it, or at least he's into winning or something like that. Well, he's into winning something. It may not be on the court because he only scored like 7.4 points when they were talking about that. And I'm still trying to figure out what's the 0.4 came from. But I guess this is average, overall average for so far for the season. Either way it goes, he still looks like a winner to me.
It's funny that S&M talks about being in it to win it, right? You think about winning, there's no I in team, right? It's a team thing, it's a partnership, right? She's there presumably to help make his situation better because if she's not making it better, then what is she there for, right? You don't see him out there trying to get on her tracks or whatever, trying to be in the, maybe videos. But you understand what I'm saying? He's not messed up her vibe, her hustle, right? I think as his girl, if she's that, then she has a responsibility to help make him help him to be the best version of himself he's trying to be. He definitely, like someone said earlier, there are lots of reasons for a slump. I'm not blaming the slump. And taking it off of them, just saying if a man is so busy trying to please his woman that he is not reserving enough energy to conduct his business will be off. You know what I mean? Be there with man, maybe he got weak knees now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she snatched his soul too many times. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I just know what she says in her lyrics. I know him from the court, her from the lyrics. The lyrics still going, the court thing's not happening. So somebody is taking their eye off the ball. See what I did there? I don't, you can't assign blame. We don't know the particulars, but I will say if the woman in your life, the person in your life ain't making it better, then that's something you probably want to look at. Hands down, anywhere, anybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. It could be a number of things, but we gotta admit there's a pattern. We've seen this before when these NBA guys or athletes, when they get in a high-profile relationship. I'm not talking about his high school sweetheart. When Russell Wilson, got with Sierra, then we started seeing the game started to slip. Same thing with like Carmelo and Lala. We got together and games started to slip. So I'm just saying there's a pattern that we see in these high profile relationships. He's a celebrity, she's a celebrity, and then after that, his game just starts to slip. I'm just saying, I think there's a there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying correlation equals causation. I'm just saying we tend to see these things together. That's all I'm saying.
Nick, before you go,
Go
can
ahead.
I push back on something S&M said? I meant to mention. S&M talked about how the woman gets blamed for when the man is down, and she doesn't get the credit for when he's up. But by the same token, you hear women, and I'm not doing the male women bashing thing or whatever. I'm just giving the other side of of perspective here. At the same time, you hear women say, "Hey, I got you here. I made you this." No, maybe people don't give them the credit, but women definitely claim the credit for it. Behind every good man, there's a good woman, or whatever. Or beside every good man, there's a good woman, right? So again, doesn't this land at her feet? If we're going to give women the credit for making men better, making them live longer, more successful, happier, whatever, does this not also land at her feet?